I think a lot of times people get stuck, they think maybe they don't know enough yet or whatever. First of all, you just have to start. Just start small. Start by filming yourself in your house. Go out on the street using your iPhone. People want to connect with people that are passionate. And the industry has changed so much. Every brand needs an expert in their industry to tell their story. The door is wide open actually for everyone. And I think right now is better time. It's like than ever before. My hourly is $3.50 an hour. So if that adds up, it's a little revenue side stream. I started at zero. So the first step to anything in business or life is just take a chance, take a step, move towards that goal.
Welcome to Lights, Camera, Cash, the podcast where creativity meets cash flow. I'm your host, Nicole Sellers, and I'm here to help you unleash the superstar within and turn your creativity and charisma into a money-making machine. Today, I am thrilled to sit down with Julee Ireland. She is an interior designer, TV host, speaker, and business owner who has built a brand that mixes beauty, wellness, and style. Julee has done it all. She's designed stunning homes, built her own school, speaks on big stages, and works with top brands in the home design space. She's living proof that you can take what you know, your passion, and your expertise, and turn it into a thriving business and brand that shines. And today we're talking about how to grow your personal brand, get noticed in the media, and use your skills to create more ways to earn. Welcome, Julee. How are you?
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Wow. What an introduction.
Listen, I could talk about you all day long with everything that you have accomplished. I'm so excited to talk about how you built your brand and monetized it. Yeah. Our audience is made up of on-air personalities who are trying to do that exact same thing. You have built such a strong and beautiful brand. Where did it all start?
Well, it started, with crafting scissors and my Barbies and shoe boxes, like crafting better homes for Barbie. No, but I would say that I've been a creative, kind of soul my entire life. I started out in fashion design, and how I morphed into interior design really was through painting wall murals. And then I actually worked for a client that ran a showroom for D.R. Horton. And they asked me to come in and interview to be a designer. And then the rest was history. I kind of learned how to
painting murals. Okay, walk me back to that, because that is so interesting. So you've always had a crafty background and in an artistic background. But How did it start with the murals?
Yeah, it started, back, now I'm dating myself. Now people are probably going to guess approximately how old I am, but
there is no shame. We love graceful aging here.
Yes. But, it started with my own home. My first home, back then, faux finishes and glazing and all this stuff was really in. And so I just kind of taught myself. And I hired a woman to paint a wall mural for my daughter's bedroom when she was, before she was born, whatever, her nursery. And I will never forget. Her name was Lori Troha. I don't know if she's still painting murals today, but she's absolutely fabulous. And when she showed up, I was in my overalls, pregnant, paintbrushes, all ready to go. And I'm like, okay, let's go. I know exactly what I want.
No doubt adorable. I would love to see those pictures.
I've never had someone hire me and then want to paint with me. Like, I thought you wanted me to do it. And so I kind of learned her style. I fell in love with it. And she's like, you're really talented at this. Would you like a job? I was like, sure, I could do this a couple days a week. And so I trained with her for about 6 months, and I paint watercolor. So it just kind of came naturally to me. Her style is very watercolor. So I learned how to mix my own glazes with Sherwin-Williams paints and, polyurethane and mixing all my own colors. It's just similar to painting watercolor and mixing colors. And then I started a little business, doing, wall murals and faux
Yeah.
finishes and
Sometimes it takes somebody else to see the talent in us. And I say this because I think a lot of our listeners doubt themselves sometimes, or maybe they have imposter syndrome and think, I can't make a business out of this. This is just a hobby, or this is just something that I enjoy doing on the side. And that is exactly what we're talking about today, is taking that passion and that expertise and that experience and turning it into a thriving business, which is what you did. And in so many different areas, you built that out. What was the first thing you did that helped you get noticed? Because you can have all of the skill sets in the world and the talent, but unless you really get out there, it's really hard to make a business out of it. What was the first thing that you did to get noticed?
you know what? To me, it's all about connection. It's all about networking and connections and putting yourself out there. So I guess I would say that I've kind of had this inner strength that I will say definitely comes from my mom to kind of just go for it. I'm not afraid to put myself out there, to talk to people, to network. And it's all about building relationships. People want to connect with people that are passionate, right? That's what authenticity. So, that's really what I built my brand on, really understanding what makes me happy, who I am authentically, and what my message is that I want to share with the world, right?
And what was that like building that up as a mother? Because I think a lot of people struggle with building something that they really love, also taking care of their children, trying to keep a home together, which, typically falls on the mom. What was that like, during that really tough period of time?
Well, I've been through a lot. I've been through, like all of us, I've been through a lot of struggles. My daughter's father and I, divorced when she was very young. We are best friends. We're not like the norm of a divorced family, thank goodness. But, being a single mom with a baby was difficult. And so it was quite interesting, right? I think things show up in your life at the right time when they're supposed to, right? To teach us things and whatever. I had a young daughter and I was able to build a business from not knowing what was coming down the road, that her dad and I were going to end up separating. She was young, but I had to learn this craft while making her, her nursery. And I was like, well, I can turn this into a business. And so I did. So I think it's all about seeing those opportunities that come into your life. And at times when times are hard, take a deep breath, sit and think, allow it to come to you, because there is something within us. We all have value. We all have talents. So it's a matter of taking a deep breath and kind of sitting back and taking a look at, okay, well, this is my situation. How do I change it? What are the steps? I always say what you write down, you can make it happen, right? So putting, a pen to paper is really important.
Are you one of those journaling ladies? Do you like to journal in the morning or write out your goal list? What are some of the strategies that you use?
I am a writer, so I'm constantly writing, but for me, it's about writing. Yeah, not necessarily in a journal, but every day I do write, and I'm writing down, goals or things as they come to me. I call them idea books, but I probably have like 50 notebooks.
Oh my God, I do too. And I think a lot of the successful women that I talk to, and I'm not discounting the men, but a lot of the women that I talk to, they have notebooks stacked, and so do I. I mean, I have bookshelves of idea notebooks, and I won't get rid of them. I just won't, because sometimes I'll like flip back and it'll be from like 9 years ago, and it'll be like this kernel of an idea that I actually did turn into something. It was some sort of variation of what the idea was, but it's such a great point to write it out and write it down, because not only are you subconsciously saying that that's a goal and that's what you're going to do, but then you can refer back back to it and say, oh my gosh, I really did accomplish something, because we all juggle so many balls in the air. I think that we lose sight of what we have accomplished. And it's incredible that you saw back then that you were able to build a business around your passion and your expertise, but you also notice you can't just stick with one thing. And I think that that's something important to notice too, is when you do build a profitable brand and a sustainable brand, it's like, putting a lot of the pieces together, where you are, you're running your own school, which we'll talk about in a minute. You're speaking on stages, you're hosting, you're designing. So you're doing a variety of different things under the same umbrella. Tell me how you started to really piece all those things together and what that process was like for you.
Yeah. Well, I went to work for D.R. Horton. So that was really my school of hard knocks. Like, first of all, like being able to learn how to build a house from the ground up, right? I have done over 1,000 homes like to date and counting. Now I specialize in high-end luxury across the country. But, I think I'm a curious person. I'm an avid learner. And I think that is also an important quality that I would say to people, like, always be learning. I surround myself with people that know more than I do, right?
Yes,
and
same.
At the time that are, like-minded, that are kind people, that will lift each other up, that strive, that are avid learners themselves and are mentors and teachers at the same time, right? Because I believe our knowledge and what we learn, we're meant to impart that on others. It's not a competition, folks. The competition should always be just with yourself, not with others, right? It's how do I grow as a person and improve myself, and at the same time now teach what I've learned or what someone's taught me to someone else. So I think that's how I lead, and that's how I've been able to effectively, I think, grow my brand, is through making connections with people, being humble. I think people see that when you are someone that authentically is passionate about what they have to say, that instantly builds a relationship, right? Don't be the know-it-all, because none of us do.
None of us know it all. And we're always still learning. And I don't care who says they're at the top of their game, they're still learning something. Always. Always. I totally agree.
100%. Even though I've reached a level I think, in my industry, people know who I am in places and whatever. I've built that for myself, but that doesn't mean that I still don't have many goals up here. I'm still constantly reaching. This is a ladder that I'm climbing, right? And I'm taking good people with me along the way.
Yes. Yes. And you're also on TV as a TV host, and you're on camera a lot. How has that really helped you build your brand? Because I think there are a lot of people listening right now that are trying to build out their brand, but maybe they're hiding behind the screen, or maybe they're just putting up some pictures, but not so much video. How much has video really expanded your brand?
Oh my gosh, so much, so much. So, it's about storytelling, and the industry has changed so much, right? Right now I'm self-producing my own show, putting all that together. Everything's gone to kind of streaming and whatever. It's about storytelling, and every brand needs an expert in their industry to tell their story. So the opportunity is huge for anyone. So I think a lot of times people get stuck at like, they think maybe they don't know enough yet or whatever. Well, first of all, you just have to start telling the story. Start if there's products that you love and that you're passionate about that correspond with your brand and your messaging, well, start using them and start talking about them. People buy authenticity. they don't want a salesman, right? They want someone who authentically is passionate about something. That's what brands need. So the door is wide open actually for everyone. And I think right now is a better time. It's like than ever before. Like TV as we know it has kind of gone away, right?
Yes.
YouTube has
Brands are looking for experts, just like you
are.
said.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
YouTube has 55% of the market share. That's where I'm looking at putting my show for sure is on YouTube because, and people don't, I learned this like recently, right? Through doing my own research because I'm like, why am I trying to fit myself in a box, in a casting box or, fit with someone else's show idea at HDTV or, A&E or whatever? Why am I trying to do that when I have a message. I have a brand. I am authentically building high-end luxury homes north of 10,000 square feet across the country. I just got back from Dubai. I think I'm going to be doing possibly some projects there as well. And so
Wow.
I started thinking, I can do this myself. Like, why am I waiting for
and everyone's already connected to YouTube. I say the same thing. I'm like, why is everyone struggling to find a platform? Like, start on YouTube. It is huge. Everyone's already connected. It's already, connected on everyone's smart TVs. So why are we all struggling? All right, if you are loving this conversation and want to learn more about how to build a profitable brand and business as an on-camera personality, go to tvhostingacademy.com. I have all my coaching programs there, even our Green Room membership. And inside that membership, we meet twice a month, once for small group coaching and a second time with an industry expert who will be teaching a masterclass on a variety of different topics in the media industry. So go to tvhostingacademy.com, click on the Green Room membership, and we'll see you there. Back to the conversation. So if someone is out there listening right now and still a little bit hesitant to getting on camera or at least getting a little bit more comfortable and confident on camera, do you have any tips for them on how to get started with that?
Yeah, I would say, you know what? One of the best things that I ever did for myself to get comfortable with when I first thought, wait, I want to go into hosting and kind of learn how to do this was improv.
Yes,
I went to
improv.
Second City, and I will tell you, improv gets you out of your head and teaches you to just tap into who you are and not be afraid to just be you.
And go off the cuff and be unscripted and completely yourself.
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
You do not have to be perfect. That's not what any of us are. So that comes across on the camera if you're trying to say the perfect phrase or be perfect or whatever. Like, no, people relate to real people. So I would say just start small. It's so important to build your socials. And that's one thing that I've worked very hard, and consistency is the key to that, posting every single day. So I think first getting clear about who are you, who is your brand, and what is your message, and then being consistent with that. Start by filming yourself in your house. Go out on the street using your iPhone. You do not need a professional. As a matter of fact, I can't really edit anything. I'm not good at editing. I just, I do have a social media manager who does that stuff, but and that's another thing. You can go film the content, hire a social media manager. It's one of the best decisions that you could make. Invest in yourself. Get someone who's a specialist and taking what you've created and putting that into quick little reel and putting that up on your socials. But building your social presence and your brand message is what makes you a brand. And so you have to work at that consistently every day.
What have you found to be the most, I don't want to say viral worthy, but something that has really accumulated the likes and the follows from your content? What do you find that your followers really take to? Are they reels? Are they mostly carousels? Or is it you kind of just doing some maybe home renovation stuff?
You know what? They want to be connected to your life. They want to see what you're doing. So those reels that I make on my projects, people love it. I take them on the journey of my projects, and I partner with brands that share, kind of align with my same values and vision. And I build all of my homes in partnership with brands. And then I'm telling the stories of those brands along the way. And by the way, here's another important thing. I only align myself with brands that I can stand behind, right? So I get approached all the time. Hey, will you talk about these socks? Will you, whatever? No, that doesn't match my brand. I don't care how many free things you're throwing at me. It's not about free things. It's about who am I authentically? What is my brand? What is my message? What do I authentically love and want to put in this house? And what can I stand behind? And then telling that story. So it's really about connecting those authentic dots. And those are what people love. They love the behind the scenes of my projects. Like, hey, today I'm with Fond du Lac Stone and I'm going to learn how to put stone on the exterior. And do you know this about them? They're from, Wisconsin, and they're family owned 3-generation business. And this is stone made in America, right? Stuff like that. People, it's like, wow, and it's fun for them to learn at the same time. And then now I'm connecting them to the brand. I'm telling the story of the brand. And that's what people love. And that's what brands love too.
Yeah, taking them along on the journey. Now, you have partnered with a lot of big brands. How do you start those conversations? You see a brand that maybe you like, maybe you're using it. Do you send them a media kit? Do you reach out via email? Kind of give some specifics on how you reach out and how those conversations play out.
Yes. So as a designer, I think it's very important to go to trade shows. So I go to all the big shows around the world. And I think that's also really important. So anyone who might be in the design, architecture industry, even real estate, I think it's important to go to shows like KBIS, West Edge Design Fair, Coverings, Marmamac in Italy, Cersei, Object Maison, like all these shows. It's important to go to these shows because that's where you can connect directly with brands. Mm-hmm. And at all these big shows, the VPs, they're all there. So going in and introducing yourself and then really understanding what's new, what's coming out, what's upcoming. So making those connections with the brands is like super important. And now when I've met someone at a show and I've now built that relationships and we've exchanged cards and numbers, then that now puts me in a position where I can position myself. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, Marble Systems, I'd love to design tile. Now I'm going to reach out to the CEO that I met at Coverings, and I'm going to send him my media kit. You're right. I think it's important that you're constantly updating that. So whatever.
I love your media kit, by the way. It's an electronic press kit because I love that you can click on the video link to see you and everything is there. And I'm going to probably throw it up on the screen and post, but I want everyone to kind of just glance at just the look of your media kit. It's beautiful. And then it has all of the pertinent information that a brand would want to know. How many followers do you have? How much engagement do you have? A little bit of your video clips so they can see what you look like on camera and how you engage with an audience. So it's really important to have that media kit so they understand who you are, what you're about, and what brands you align with. So if you don't already have a media kit, start to piece one together. We always help our students at TV Hosting Academy do that as well, because what happens is they'll come in the door with incredible experience and kind of a shoddy bio. And I'm like, no. We need to really dig into that bio, because if you want to approach a brand, they're not going to be impressed by this. We need to really put everything out there, which you do so incredibly well. I love your media kit, always have. And you always update it, which is great, because I had one from, I think, last year, and then I got the new one. And you are right on top of it, which is great. But as a business owner too, things don't always go our way. I mean, we work and we put so much heart into everything that we do. What do you do to stay motivated? Because I know sometimes things kind of don't really go as planned. Things are going up and down like a roller coaster. How do you stay motivated to keep going?
Yeah, I always kind of look at sometimes when, you maybe something doesn't come through that you thought was going to come through. It doesn't happen the way you're going to happen. It's not rejection, it's protection. So that is something that I just have always kind of known and held in my heart that, look, it's not meant for me right here, right now. There is a reason why there's a pivot. So trying to look for the lesson in that, what is the reason? And then staying positive. Because you know what? Again, if you look at it that way and just understand it's not happening because it's not meant for you, but that doesn't mean something isn't meant for you. So it's looking for the opportunity, staying optimistic and true to yourself. And what's supposed to be will arrive, I promise.
Yes. And that helps my mental health, and I'm sure yours as well, to know that if it's not meant for you at this moment, it will be eventually, or something better is going to come along. And I love your saying, but I always say it's not rejection, it's redirection. Because every time that I've gotten rejected, and there has been many, many times, I've always said, hey, it's just redirecting me to something else that's better. It's probably, something that I didn't see coming, but it's meant to be that way. So for anyone dreaming about building a brand like yours, what is one piece of advice that you would give them right now?
I would say start. So, I think a lot of times people get held back because they think, oh, I don't know enough, or maybe my bio isn't big enough, or my media kit. Trust me, if I showed you the first media kit I had and you look at the one I have now, it's grown and it's evolving and it's constantly evolving. So the first step to anything in business or life is just take a chance, take a step, move towards that goal. And, believe in yourself. Like we all have talent. We all have something special. And just believe that. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, no one else will. Right. So for me, that's so important. And I try to teach that to even, like my assistants or people I bring on to work with me or whatever young people, like, look, everybody starts at zero.
Yes.
Everybody. I started at zero.
I cringe when I watch my old videos back. I'm like, oh my God, that is so horrible. But you have to start somewhere and you have to grow and evolve. And by doing, you realize what you like to do. There were times where I just started, like you said, and then I said, oh God, I hate this. Like, I definitely don't want to pursue that. And then I'll go to something else. But if you don't start, that's such a great point. If you don't start, you're not going to know what is for you or what you're going to really love to come out of it. We didn't get to dive into home renovation school, but tell us a little bit about your school.
Yes. So, my late husband, one of the things that he would always say to me, he was a lawyer, CPA. I was always mentoring people and not charging and all this. And one of his messages before he left was, I really want you to start monetizing. And he's like, you love to teach so much. You're always mentoring. I want you to put together a course. And so he was my inspiration. And about a year after he passed, one day I woke up and I was like, I'm going to write the school. This is a true story. So I don't think I came out of my house for about 6 weeks. My neighbor, who's also named Julie, who lived across the street at the time, would call me and be like, can I bring you some food? Are you okay? But I would say that I definitely channeled this whole thing. I wrote the school. I wrote a 450-page book. And I just shared my story. Like, how do I build a house from the ground up? What are all my steps? And I just put it all into a course, and then I have a film crew that I work with in Houston. I hired them. I shot a lot of it in a house that I just finished building. And so I shot it myself, paid for it all myself, wrote it myself, and then launched it on Kajabi, which is a wonderful platform.
Yes, I use it as well.
Yeah, I love it. It's so user friendly and everything. So I put it on Kajabi, and yeah, the rest is history. And it's turned into other things. So other revenue streams. So from that, people would take my course and then go, okay, but can I also consult with you? And I went, consulting.
Sure. We're adding that to one of the offers in Kajabi, consulting. Coaching. Yeah.
So I'm consulting, and I would say I probably do at least 4 consultations a week.
That's great.
My hourly is $3.50 an hour. So if that adds up, it's a little revenue side stream. And then I have the course. It's $97 a month. I would say most people do the monthly. On average, people stay in my school 14 months.
Wow.
So that's the average. Or I sell it $3,997 lifetime. I've sold, a few of those too, but most of the time people are just doing the monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time. So subscription method, I think, works really, really well. And then of course, I'm there. They have me. If they DM me or ask me a question or, hey, I went through the paint module. I don't know if I want Chantilly lace or alabaster. What do you think?
Having access to the expert is priceless. I think that is such an incredible deal.
Yeah.
I mean, and also branching off into offers that your audience is asking for. I think being able to listen to what people are struggling with and what they need and what they're asking for is excellent. But bravo, Julie. I mean, you're just doing so many amazing things, and I cannot wait to see all the other things that you have on that list, because we all know that list is right at your bedside at night. Yeah. But where can everyone find you and connect with you?
Yes, you can go to juleeireland.com. You can message me through my Instagram at Julee Ireland. All my social handles are at Julee Ireland. You can DM me. Would love to help you with your next project. I also have consultations for branding and clarity. So you can also, through my Calendly, through my link tree on at Julee.
Well, we'll also drop it in the show notes for everybody. So you can click on those links in there. It'll be easy to find. Julie, thank you so much for joining us today. And we wish you all the best, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Awesome. Bye.